You guys are retarded. Now, I'm making this out to the Eagle fan base because, listen, we've been through hell this entire season. We've been through some up and down moments, but I saw on Twitter a dumbass burning Carson Wentz's jersey. Now, I, for one, laugh at the sight of people burning jerseys because that is hundreds of dollars right there because these jerseys are expensive as fuck. You're just burning away because you're pissed off in the moment, right? Or you claim that this guy isn't worth it, so I'm going to burn my jersey. These are the same people who wanted Nick Foles to be the starting quarterback after this season and have Carson Wentz given the boot, right? Nick Foles today got benched after turning the ball over 3 times in the first quarter for Minshew. And you guys keep blaming Wentz for the defense allowing 37 to the worst offense in the league. Where's the sense in this? Some people make no literal sense, and it shows how little people actually know anything about football. Because I watched today my quarterback, Carson Wentz, whose jersey's in my closet right now. I haven't worn it in a couple of weeks because, well, let's be real, the offense has been trash. But I would never burn that. Never. Number one and number two, I saw my quarterback today put 3 touchdowns up, a 113 passer rating, quarterback passer rating, 300 yards, in a losing effort. After 2 weeks in a row of having nobody to throw the football to and not being able to do anything offensively. Now, I didn't come on here to talk with you guys for 15 minutes. I'm just here to state the obvious. The fan bases in the NFL have big-time morons, 2 heads that do not know what they are talking about. And it makes me laugh seeing this on Twitter, seeing people wanting Carson Wentz benched while watching the Dolphins, veteran quarterback, 15-year vet, pick apart our defense because we didn't plan for anything outside of man-to-man and cover. And nothing else. Zone coverage and man-to-man blitz packages that are easy to pick up. Nothing else. That's Carson Wentz's fault. Not the defensive coordinator. Not the offensive coordinator for being a 2-head as well. Not the head coach for pointing out something's wrong here with our defense. No. For sticking with what isn't working, and at the end of the day, a team with nothing to lose, who is clearly just going along as if it's a meme, joking on the sidelines, laughing. Like, did you see the way that Ryan Fitzpatrick looked today when he was making these big passes? He looked like a goofball because he's having fun, even though they are 2-9, now 3-9 team. That's something the Eagles have lost as well, is having fun. And the fan base doesn't help it either. The media does not help when they're burning jerseys, when they're bashing people for no reason, when the problems are more than just one guy. It's a problem within the entire organization. It's a problem within the locker room. It isn't just on Wentz. It's everybody. And people with thick skulls cannot see that. They're only 2 games worse than us, and that makes it even worse, right? I mean, that makes it any better? People are losing their minds over it. I'm upset too, but I'm not going to burn down my freaking house because of it. I'm not going to throw a fit like some idiots on the platform known as YouTube or Twitter or Instagram would do. I'll just speak the obvious, speak facts, and talk about it. The Eagles have issues. What can we do to fix it? Let's discuss it. That's it. Like, we got big issues, but I'm not going to burn shit. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to get just so over the top over nothing to go viral. Because that's all that matters in this freaking universe we live in. It's so stupid, man. Like, I see these posts blowing up on Instagram. People crying. People burning. It's stupid. Well, I saw a couple Eagles fans doing that today. We've seen people wearing Antonio Brown, Oakland Raider, and Pittsburgh Steelers uniforms doing it, or jerseys doing it. I've seen a couple of Dak Prescotts out there. There's been a lot. So clearly a lot of people have sinned in that regard, and it's retarded. It's so stupid that I can't even Ugh. We know what this team has to do. If this organization really believes they can go for a run, then they got to change shit. Obviously, something's not working during the game and outside of the game. When they're studying in the locker room, watching the tape, they got to fix it. During the game, they got to make the adjustments. The Eagles didn't do that today, and we lost because of it. You don't got to burn your shit over it. It's so stupid. And I directed this to you Eagle fans out there because you guys are stupid. It is really sad. It's very sad. But people do this because they firmly believe that one game defines a player. Dak Prescott doing bad against the New Orleans Saints one game explains his entire career that he is a below average quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but he's not amazing. It's the exact same thing if you would look at the first 3 games he had, where you see him lighting it up against the Dolphins and the Giants and the Redskins, and you think that he's an MVP caliber quarterback. Lamar Jackson's an MVP elite quarterback. He's a good talent with a good arm and great receivers and players around him. That qualifies as an MVP candidate when especially he's playing up to that level. Prescott isn't doing it. Wentz isn't doing it. Let's not cry over it. Let's talk about why they could do better. People are so over the top, and it pisses me off, and I don't like it. Doug Peterson, quote, this was a good, yeah. Every game that we lose, oh yeah, that's a good football team right there. Like, he needs to, I agree with that. He needs to stop with the BS because let's face it, you got your asses kicked by a really bad football team, and you're not owning up to it. Yeah, I agree, Sean. It's not going to change for another 4 weeks until we're out of this season. Yes, because Seattle, I agree. You see the product that Seattle's putting out right now. They're not the greatest team, but they do enough and they get enough done to win football games. Like, that's all that you can say. They're not the greatest against the pass, but they put up enough points. They win football games, especially in big-time moments. That's what good football teams do. Beat Dallas and Josh McDaniels. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's wait out and try to get Josh McDaniels over here and fire Mike Groh. I will stand by that. I've been saying that since last season. I want Mike Groh to be just gone. Just remember, it's Carson's fault. Yes, sir. Big brain moment. It's Carson's fault everything because he has to play cornerback. He has to defend against the run. He has to blitz the quarterback. He has to kick field goals. All that stuff, right? He has to catch the football as a wide receiver, too. Yeah. I have to blame Doug Peterson and Jim Schwartz, Mike Groh for today's loss. This is a joke. 100% with you, man. It's just... I mostly blame Jim Schwartz today because I feel like he made zero, just no effort, zero effort to make an adjustment against the Dolphins earlier today. I feel like he did not try whatsoever to do it. Foles fans thinking Wentz is nobody. I'm done with it. Facts. Bro, Nick Foles is out here getting benched for Minshew. Minshew Mania is back. And Nick Foles, he's going to be getting his money, but he might not be back in Jacksonville next year. That's the sad part about it, too. Carson made Darby and Mills get burned because he prayed with... Hey. We should have Devontae Parker. Let's be real here. He was one of the trade targets that we could have acquired that we didn't, and we paid the price for it. Not in the correct way, but instead losing a game to him. We allowed like 200 yards to the guy. He's a stud, and we missed out on him. We can win with Wentz. People need to accept that fact. Teams have bad games. I remember when we lost to the 2-11 Vikings, like 48-20, LOL, and still made the playoffs. I agree. I 100% agree with you there. This team is going to be able to win with Carson Wentz some way, some form, eventually. Not right now with the way that the team is around him, but definitely I agree. We need to get younger and hungrier because the people on this team, like, you look at the offensive, let's start at the offensive line. Jason Peters, you kick him the hell out. You give him the boot. He's gone. I don't care for Jason Peters anymore. He's a great Philadelphia Eagle, great offensive lineman, but he needs to go. We need to put in Dilliard. We need to get younger starting up front. Yeah, he's way too old. He needs to go. You keep Miles Sanders and you make him your premier running back. He's proven that, like, Saquon Barkley, he has that type of style of run, just not with the toughness, but with the swifty speedness that he can cut outside, make big plays when we need them, and you need to run with him more often and give him the ball. So, Miles Sanders, definite keep for the future. For the future, like as in long term, I would definitely re-sign Jordan Howard as well, unless if he stays unhealthy. If he is not able to play against the Giants on Monday night next week, I'm going to question everything about him. Because he's done really well this year. He's still our lead back as far as yards go, but I don't know about his injury. And I don't like him being injured still with a stinger. I don't agree with him being injured with a stinger if he's been out for 3 weeks straight. So, Eagles need a wide receiver, cornerback, safety, linebacker, defensive tackle. Yeah, we need better pass rushing. We need a better linebacker for sure. Definitely a wide receiver or two, because I don't really expect Jeffrey, or at least I don't expect Aguilar to be back. Jeffrey most likely due to the contract, but Aguilar I want him gone. Mac Hollins, I want him gone. Greg Ward, I want him to be promoted. Honestly, I really want to see more from him, but oh god, why do we play Peters? Because he false starts and Jordan Howard needs to stay. I don't know. It's mostly like the sentimental factor. Same with Darren Sproles and stuff. Peters has an offensive line coach, and Southland has a new offensive coordinator. If no better options arise, what do you think? That wouldn't be the worst situation. I think I would go with that. But I would definitely look out there, look out in the market for an offensive coordinator, whether you could look at somebody like a Josh McDaniels or virtually anybody, mostly somebody on the team right now where that team is having success. Like, I will look to the Ravens for somebody within that organization offensively to grab somebody there. Like, their offense coordinator is going to be set in stone. They're going to keep him most likely, unless if he really wants to be his own head coach. That's a different story. And I don't think we're gonna get rid of Doug Peterson. Not this year, but if we have another season like this, then definitely. They're already talking about Doug Peterson being on the hot seat, so definitely the talks are starting to rise. Like, let's be real here, and we as Eagle fans and the media, we keep making it worse. But at the end of the day, what else can we do? Mike McCarthy for offensive coordinator if he can't get a coaching job. Yeah, I like that. I agree with that idea. Get over the Ramsey thing. Yeah, get over not getting Jalen Ramsey. It wasn't the end of the world. Oh my gosh. This organization needs an extreme flush it all out. Yes, I agree. 100%. See, I swear, some of the people in my chat are either the smartest or the dumbest people. Like, today has been a lot of the smart people. And recently, overall, it's been a lot of the smart people. But I get some of the trolls and stuff in here and everything, and it's a shit show. But y'all are good. And I agree with everything you're saying. And I'm sorry if I'm, like, sniffling a lot. I'm still getting over the cold and everything. But I just can't deal with this team. I can't deal with the fan base. Most of the fan base. There's a majority of this fan base. It's so terrible. It's really bad. This entire fan base. Offensive players, Eagles need to trade / cut. Vaitai, Peters, Sayamalu, Aguilar, Deshaun, Jeffrey, Hollins. I agree with almost every single one of those, except for Jeffrey, just because I know for a fact we're going to keep Jeffrey for 1 more year. I don't think we're going to get any trade value from Alshon Jeffrey with the way that the season has gone and with how much he is a talker anonymously to other people behind the entire team's back, you know? So I don't know about that. I would like to cut him. Honestly, I would not mind 2020 being a year where we're complete dog shit because of not having wide receivers because we're still rebuilding. I do wish that we would do something like Seattle and take like a 1 or 2 year grace period where we're still competitive, but not quite there. Like, you could consider this year being the first year in that, but I really want us to take a year to really look at the draft, get good picks, and I'll talk about draft. I'll actually study and look into who to draft, who the Eagles should look at, because let's face it, the draft picks that we've had in the last decade have been dog shit, minus a few key exceptions like Deshaun Jackson, Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, like certain little like couple of players here and there, you know, not everybody. People like Nelson Aguilar and Eric Rowe and Marcus Smith, big draft busts that we invested so much in. That's the story of the Eagles as far as drafting goes. They have not done good whatsoever. And you look at 2017's draft where you have Matt Collins and Derek Barnett. Barnett hasn't played as well as we had hoped. He's also been injured. Matt Collins has been a complete no-show despite him being one of our top prospects in 2017. Like, the team itself did not draft very well whatsoever in the last couple of years. This past draft wasn't too bad. We got a good offensive lineman, but outside of that, we didn't really get much else. And it's sad to say, but it's true. And the Eagles definitely, if they want to build something in this organization, in this team, especially around Carson, they got to draft better, and it all starts there. You can get at whoever you want out of free agency. Clearly, some will work, like Jeffrey in 2017. Others won't, like Jackson in 2019. But that was a long little sentence. I'm sorry. I'm just exhausted after today. Howie is to blame for this season. Just look at how all the moves he has made. Horrendous. Very true. I agree with you there. Joner Badge, Corey in the post-game, new defensive back coach as well. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. And he has every right to, especially somebody like Seth Joyner, who knows what he's talking about. Him and Barrett Brooks, they can say all they want. And, of course, Ray Dininger knows what he's talking about, too. It's just frustrating. It's very frustrating. I'm done with Darby and Mills as well. Get rid of both of them. I agree. Mills was looking good up until today. Today he looked very much overwhelmed and not prepared to cover anybody today. I don't know. And Darby, he's always been either he has burned or he has good coverage, but he cannot ever get a hand on the ball. He can never find it, and it makes you question what's wrong with you. I'm wondering why we didn't trade for any wide receiver in the trade deadline. Question why we didn't trade for anybody in general, because we didn't. Like, it amazes me how. It's tanking time, I agree. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Darby is like Nelson Aguilar, can't track the ball to save their lives, I agree. I hope we get that Ohio State guy, I forgot his name, he's a wide receiver. I'll look into it. Actually, wait. I got a thing right here, I can do this. I can look it up real quick. I'll try to. Anyway, while I'm talking with you guys. But let's see what else you guys are saying as well. Oh, God. It's very much tanking time. And I just want the season over with. I just want it done. And Alabama wide receiver, yeah, I agree. There are a lot of good wide receivers out there that the Eagles could definitely pick up. But, I mean, do you really expect the Eagles to make a move? Because it's the Eagles. Let's see who Ohio State has as wide receivers. Again, this is going to be me a lot during the offseason with the laptop in hand, streaming and talking about stuff. Because let's face it, what else can we do? I mean, it amazes me how crap this team has turned out to be. I mean, there's KJ Hill. KJ Hill is 6 foot, 194 pounds, and is currently an Ohio State Buckeye. So that's one guy that the Eagles could look into. I mean, again, you look up just a bunch of people that you can draft. Like you can really find a lot of people. Amari Cooper coming to Philly. True, yeah, he did say they did talk about how he's going to test the free agency this year. I'm gonna put this back down. Which that'd be pretty cool. I don't think he's gonna come to Philly. I think he might go elsewhere. I think he should go to Baltimore. I think if Amari Cooper goes to Baltimore, the Ravens will be the brand, like I won't say the new dynasty, but they will be a force to be reckoned with. In the AFC. But don't want an ex-Cowboy, not another Scandrick. Well, he isn't Scandrick for one. Scandrick was a bum who got cut by the Cowboys. The Cowboys traded a first-round pick for Amari Cooper. So he's not a bum either. He's a top talent at the wide receiver position. Look what 32-year-old slow wide receivers are available as free agents. That's who we get in the offseason, most likely, yeah. If we tame the rest of the year, maybe we could just get Jerry Jeudy in the draft. That could be a good pick as well. again, there are a lot of options out there, and wherever the Eagles fall, sorry, I was about to yawn. Nope. Okay. Wherever the Eagles fall in the draft, we just gotta hope for the best at this point, because again, history has not been good with the Eagles drafting quality talent, and it was different when they traded up to get Carson because they needed a quarterback, and it was either Carson, Goff, Prescott, whoever the hell else was in that draft. There weren't many quarterbacks in that draft outside of Goff and Carson, and we got Carson. So I mean, hey, Bama wide receivers are studs. Example, Julio and Calvin, really exactly why we should look into them right now. I mean, look at what Atlanta's got, but then again, Atlanta hasn't done good with them either. So that mostly falls on the coaching because it's just not good. Yeah, the wide receiver class is very deep. It's just like 2016 and 2015 quarterbacks were more of the class that people focused on, because those 2 years, the first two picks in both drafts were quarterbacks, because there was a lot of talent there, and the Cowboys got Dak Prescott in the 4th round or 3rd round or whatever the hell they got him. So clearly, each and every draft is different, and I never focused on them too much, aside from the day of, where I'm like looking through the players and seeing who we should get, and then looking up who we get at the same time that we pick them. This year, I'm actually going to try and take more of an effort to look into available options like wide receiver, linebacker stuff. So stay tuned for that in the offseason. I'm going to be busy in the offseason. Trust that. Trust on that. We should look into drafting Stephon Diggs' brother, who's a top prospect at corner. That would be really interesting. I'll look into that one as well, because, again, corner is another main area of concern. Speaking of corner, where the hell is Cre'Von LeBlanc? Where was he today? He was activated, and we didn't see him today. Where was he? Where was he? I want to know. Where was Cre'Von LeBlanc? What was the point in activating him if you're not going to put him in there? Stupid. Not going to be here for too much longer, because I'm getting exhausted again. These streams, especially with me standing up, they take out a lot of me because I get so fired up and so upset. CeeDee Lamb and Higgins would be nasty if we get. I would love that, bro. Believe me. Jay Ajayi looks cooked and slow. I agree. Yeah. I don't know why we signed him for depth because of Jordan Howard, but why couldn't we have just gotten somebody better? Because, let's face it, he wasn't good. He really wasn't good. Who do I want as offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator next year? Jim Schwartz is on. He's up and down with me, bro. Like, I swear. He's back and forth with me, and today he went right back down to on the hot seat. But offensive coordinator, I've wanted Mike Groh out since last year, mid-last year, especially after the back-to-back losses to the Cowboys and Saints. Offensive coordinator, I would love Mike McCarthy, and it would make sense, in my opinion. I feel like he would go well with Peterson. I feel like they would figure things out a lot easier than Mike Groh. I feel Mike Groh is just a wide receiver coach, and that's about it. Like, that's the end of it. Didn't want Jay Ajayi. He like Ryan Matthews 2.0. I feel like Ryan Matthews was worse because Ryan Matthews was actually injury prone and he never got healthy. Jay Ajayi, he had a lot of talent and he was good with us during the run, but then hurt himself last year, and that was different. Coordinators are only as good as the players they coach, not a ton of talent here, guys. That, to a certain extent, that's true, but you question the offense if it struggles. Well, then again, never mind. Defensive struggles, because we have pass rushers. Or at least we have a good defensive front. Where did the pass rush go in the second half of the game? And where did the run game go in the first half of the game? Like, or overall in the game in general? Like, those are questions you have to ask, not just the coach, but the coordinators, because they are just as much a part of it as the head coaches. I mean, it really shook me to my core seeing that we only ran the ball 19 times and threw the ball 48 times. It's crazy, you know? And that's another thing. They're 31st in the run, and we didn't run. And Miles Sanders had like 70-something yards on like 13 carries. Why did we stop? Mike Groh's own dad wanted nothing to do with him and fired him in trash. Yeah, that gives you a good idea as to who our offensive coordinator is. And why is he still here after last year? I don't know. Can you imagine Mike McCarthy as an offensive coordinator? I would love that. He was the scapegoat in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers got him fired, and now, well, looking at it now, it was kind of a good thing despite their issues. What's going on, Spunky? Good to see you here, man. But who's my favorite Eagle? Ah, that's tough. There's a lot because in his prime, Deshaun Jackson's one of them. Brian Dawkins is one of them. Brian Westbrook is one of them. I mean, there's a lot of favorites out there, but those are probably my top three. Brian Dawkins, Brian Westbrook, and in his prime, so 2008 through 2013, Deshaun Jackson. That would probably those would definitely be my top three. And I only say Deshaun then because that was when I was younger and I grew up watching Deshaun in 2008 and stuff. And then I grew up as a little kid watching B-Doc and Westbrook. So Seth Joyner is up there too. Reggie White, just watching highlights of him and Randall Cunningham. Oh my gosh. The whole Buddy Ryan Eagles team was such a fun, it's always fun to go back and watch the highlights of Buddy Ryan Eagles. It's just a great time. I wish I was alive during it, even though we never won championships. I would still love to go back and just watch those and experience that. But, I mean, Jim Johnson Eagles defense 2008 was great. Jeremiah Trotter's a good one too. But hey, he's your all-time player, yeah. He's crazy. And I watch Lamar Jackson, I look at him and it's like, he has a little bit of Randall Cunningham and a little bit of Mike Vick in him, and it's crazy how good he is. And it honestly makes me miss having a quarterback like that, like Donovan McNabb in his prime, before injuries, before throwing up, where he moved around in the pocket a lot. And then Mike Vick when we were winning games, not when we were losing. When we were losing games with Mike Vick, it was terrible. But when we were winning with him, it looked great. I mean, there's a lot of Eagles out there, there are a lot of old and new. And right now, I mean, if you ask me who's my favorite on the roster right now, it'd definitely be Carson. And on defense, it's probably Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. Those three, as of right now, on this roster at least, because a year ago, I would have said Alshon Jeffrey, but that's changed. That's changed a lot. 2 years ago, I would have said the same because he was great in 2017. I miss LeGarrette Blount. Sidney Jones, no, yeah, Sidney Jones, he's still on the roster. 2017 ones honestly looked faster now and very mobile like Josh Allen. Now, I can agree to that, but I don't see too much of a difference with Wentz. Though what I do see with Wentz is that they're definitely throwing with him a lot more, and it's not good. They're definitely throwing the football too much with him. And when that happens, I start to notice that Wentz also starts to sail his passes, like in 2016. And what happened in 2016, his rookie season, he didn't have wide receivers, and we were throwing the ball constantly. And we had our number one running back at that time was Ryan Matthews. So we had no run game. So it's really throwing us back like that. If only Jordan Matthews played today. Ouch. Yeah, for one catch for 3 yards. Yeah. Because that definitely would help a lot. I agree with that. Starting to think you're right about Wentz in this team. This Eagles team. Oh, gosh. I love the Eagle team when it was Vick, Jackson, Macklin, and McCoy. Yeah, and then you remember when Chip Kelly came in and ruined it? Vick got hurt, but remember when he traded away, he cut Deshaun Jackson and traded away Jeremy Macklin, or LaShawn McCoy? That was great. And we had Sam Bradford. That was still so recent. That was 2015, and we're going into 2020 in 28 days. Let that sit back and just let that sink in, I wonder who remembers Kevin Kolb in this group. I do. Kevin Kolb had like 3 good games, and then he got hurt. And then he started doing good with Buffalo, and then, no, not Buffalo, Arizona, and then he got hurt, and he had to retire because of too many head injuries. McNabb was good in 2002. Yeah. The year that we made it to one of the many years we made it to the championship games and then lost. Who can forget, though? Who in this chat can remember when we lost the very last game at the Vet against the Buccaneers, and they went to win the Super Bowl. And then we opened up the season that next season with the brand new Lincoln Financial Field, and then lost the very first 2 games there. I remember that, and I was 3 and 4 years old at that time, and it was very depressing. I remember my dad was not happy about it, especially with the brand new Lincoln Financial Field being opened, and we got shut out by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they got blown out by the New England Patriots. We still went 12 and 4 that year, but still it sucked. I blame the defense 100% for this loss. Thank you, Spunky, for having a brain, because I'm seeing, like, if you missed the first couple of minutes of this stream, I was having a fit because people are burning Carson Wentz jerseys, and it's upset. I do. Cardinals blew us out. Yeah, it wasn't fun. Wasn't fun. Eagles 2019, much good. Yeah. This year, like, we had such high hopes, and now in hindsight, we shouldn't have. We shouldn't have, because this team isn't good enough. We're 15 and 15 since winning the Super Bowl. You know what that spells? Mediocrity. That's the new norm. Coined by Doug Peterson himself at the Super Bowl parade. He said that this is the new norm. We're mediocre, and I love it. I love being mediocre. Do you guys love being mediocre? Because I do. I love it. I love being mediocre. Ertz is partially to blame today, dropping 2 touchdown passes. You're goddamn right. No one wants to talk about that, but I do. I agree with that. It's terrible. Eagles don't want to win. I said that exact same thing 5 hours ago, sir. I'm usually one of Wentz's biggest critics, but this loss wasn't his fault at all. Not one bit. I'm not one of his biggest critics. I'm one that believes wholeheartedly that he is the future of this franchise. He just needs people around him that actually want it just as much as he does. And he needs a coaching staff that'll actually coach and help him on the sidelines. He sits by himself with Josh McCown all the time on the bench, and Sudfeld. Nobody talks to him. No coach talks to him, and you wonder why. There's a little bit of an issue probably in the locker room with the coaches and the players. Cowboys haven't made it last division in 24 years, even LeBron had said. Hey, can't spell Eagles without the L. Losing time, embrace the tank. Woo! I still don't have my voice all the way, so that was really bad. But yes, embrace the tank. Let's try to go 5-11, guys. Get a better draft pick, because that's what matters. See, now this is another thing. I don't embrace the tank. I'm only doing this sarcastically because I watched somebody on this platform who honestly made me embrace being a fan of my team even more. That's Cop Pizzle. His Giants have been trashed for 4 or 5 years now, and he still wants this team of his to win. And he cams up every single time they lose, flips his shit just because he wants his team to win. I don't flip my shit, but I want my team to win. And I'm not going to want this team to tank as much as they should, because we need a better freaking draft pick, but it's not like we're going to draft any better. Probably won't win another game this season. Probably not. Clown Pizzle. Oh, gosh. He's entertaining. Like, I can't even, like, he's hilarious. That's the only reason why I watch him. And he's a true fan, too, you know, because all he wants is his team to win. Like, that's all he wants. And I feel bad. I don't really feel bad. It's a Giants fan. I really don't care. But, like, I mean, let's face it. We're all struggling as well. So, we have the most garbage division in the history of the NFL this year. Hey, 2015 was pretty bad, too. Don't you remember 2015? First place, the 97 Washington Redskins. Second place, the 7-9 Eagles. Third place, I think, was the 5-11 Giants, and then fourth was the 4-12 Cowboys. That's a pretty trash one. But this one, we'll have another discussion. If the division at the end of the year is 8-8 or 9-7 first place, then yes, definitely one of the worst divisions, NFC East divisions in the NFL. But it's definitely been the most trash division ever since 2015. I agree with that. Yeah, you read my mind. Eagles have definitely, or not the Eagles, the NFC East has been the NFC least for 4 straight seasons. 5 straight seasons. And that's terrible. That's terrible. And what can we really do about it? We can just sit back and continue to watch. We've had only one good team in the past, 5 years in this division, and it's been the 2017 Eagles. That's it. We were watching Dak Prescott lose to the Seahawks in the first round. Hell yeah, we are, and I'm going to laugh my ass off when it happens. It's going to be so much fun. How much of an underdog will we be to Temple? 3 or 4 points? Nah, 5, 6 maybe. Definitely more than 4. Isn't it ironic we're the only division in which each team has won a Super Bowl? Yeah, that is. That's funny, right? There are still a lot of teams out there that haven't won a Super Bowl. Bills lost 4 straight. I remember that. Well, I don't remember. I wasn't alive, but I remember watching it. I remember learning about it because I free time, bro. Being 19 years old, I had a lot of free time. Pop Warner football team can beat us. We are the new Miami Dolphins. Yeah, how much you want to bet the Miami Dolphins are going to win out, including their next game against the Patriots? That is if they have one. I don't know their schedule, but how much you want to bet? Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be really funny. Isn't it funny? The Eagles can beat the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills and lose to the Patriots and Dolphins, but they can't beat the Cowboys. And the Cowboys can beat the Dolphins, but they can't beat the Bills or the Patriots or the Jets. We did better in the AFC East without beating the Dolphins compared to the Cowboys. That's sad. The Cowboys went 1-3 against the freaking AFC East. They beat the Dolphins. And we can beat the Bills and the Jets. They can't. How does that make sense? I don't know. And both of us can put up a fight against the Patriots, but then get blown out by whoever the hell else. That's how bad this division is, too. That's how bad the Cowboys are. That's how bad we are. If anything else has to be said, let it be said. Otherwise, I'm going to head out. So does this make 3 straight losses at home since no Dolphins fans were there? Hey, the crowd was pretty loud when we were losing. Okay, they were pretty loud. I didn't hear any boos when we were losing. Tanka for Chase Young. Sorry, Rescue Midgets. We taking the cake for first pick. Oh, yeah, and the Packer one. That's true. We beat them. Eagles, Cowboys, Buccaneers, and Jets are competing to be the most inconsistent team in the NFL. Heck yes, we are. And it's sad for the Cowboys and the Eagles considering how much talent they have. And same for the Bucs as well. And the Jets. I feel bad for Le'Veon Bell. Didn't even get the money that he wanted, and he ends up with one of the worst and most inconsistent teams. Don't forget Doo-Doo Browns. Hey, Browns making a run, even though I think they lost today. So, well, it's only too much until pitchers and catchers. Ha! Oh, God. Oh, don't remind me. Now we got to wait for the freaking crappy Phillies? Well, then again, I don't think they're going to be that crappy with the new manager. Not as crappy. But they haven't even done anything. They haven't even done any, good things. They haven't even gotten, a pitcher, a good pitcher, at least. They're looking at Cole Hamels. I'm like, this is like the Eagles. They're like the exact same thing. I don't mind Cole Hamels, but he's 37. Now, yeah, he might be better than any of our other pitchers outside of Nola and Arrieta. Arrieta was trash this year, too, because he played through an injury. But still. Why can't we just get people up from our farm? I don't know. Philly sports, bro. The Sixers are underachieving. The Eagles have underachieved. The Phillies continue to blow. But hey, at least we got the Flyers. Flyers looking pretty good. Can't believe I thought this team would be better than the 22nd. Spunky, I'm right there with you. It makes me sad. Girardi would be like, let's hope so. Let's hope things will get better. Okay. I thank you guys for tuning into this little thing. Like I've said, I'm going to be trying to stream a lot more often, so stay tuned. I'm going to be talking Eagles and Giants going through this week, especially since I can speak. Thank the Lord. Laryngitis is a bitch. And third time in 2 years dealing with it was not fun, but maybe Josh Huff could come back. What would he do? Just get another DUI for speeding on the bridge, and then we would cut him again? Nah, he won't come back. But I'm going to head out. I'll try to stream maybe tomorrow to talk more about this game, this past game, and future games. Yes, hit me up on Twitter. If you guys want to follow me, go right ahead. I'm going to try to be more active on there as well. At Sacred Gary in the description of the stream. Go follow me up on there. Hit me up. And I'll talk to you guys when I see you guys. Let's hope for the best. I know we're all joking around and talking about tanking and stuff. Let's see what happens. Eagles are technically still in it for the division right now. They aren't going to give up as much as we feel like they should. But we'll see what happens. Remember, all NFL players have loaded guns in their cars. Very true. Let's hope none of them do anything stupid. All right. I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your night. Fly, Eagles, fly. Peace out.